talked about the Hossack murder trial as well as Trifles and a video game.
112 years ago today, in Warren County, a gruesome murder occurred. A man was killed as he lay in his bed by 2 axe blows to his head. Meanwhile, his wife lay beside him and his children, 6 of the 9 were sleeping in the house. And when the police, the sheriff came and tried to put together what happened, the most obvious potential culprit was the wife. How could this have happened without her knowing? And so she was accused of murder, and the first trial was held in Warren County, and she was found guilty by a jury of her husband's peers, because at that time women could not serve on juries, so the jury was made up of her husband's friends and acquaintances. After spending some time in Anamosa, the warden there said this woman is not guilty of murder and she needs to have her chance to be retried. So they retried her in Madison County. There was a hung jury, because basically there was no evidence that hooked her to the murder other than the potential motive that she and her husband had an unhappy marriage. The woman covering the story of this murder case, unsolved mystery case, was an Iowan by the name of Susan Glasgow. She was a journalist for what is now the Des Moines Register, but it was then the Des Moines Daily News, and so from here I'll pass the stage.
So Susan Glasswell wrote 2 pieces about the Hossack murder trial. She changed some names. The first one was a short story, and it was called A Jury of Her Peers, and then the second one was a 1-act play called Trifles, and we broke down the play Trifles for a university group from the University of South Carolina, and they're going to make a video game, which Danielle will talk a little bit more about. But what we did was we broke down the differences between the actual murder and the play, and the importance of why Susan Glasswell wrote the play, and she made some really obvious and some really not so obvious hidden themes among the play that she wanted people to pick up on. And so we wanted to help the team down in South Carolina notice those differences, so we broke down the play and continue to talk about the themes, and there's some theories. We actually have our poster set up there if you want to go look a little bit more, because I can talk for hours on the play Trifles. And so I'm going to let Danielle talk about the video game and why we feel that the video game and this development of the video game is very important to society and college kids as a resource.
What the video game is, basically what a lot of people are trying to do now is integrate humanities with technology, so that students can, because a lot of students are used to playing video games, so this brings education to video games. What we hope that students will gain by playing a video game that is linked to a piece of literature is that they can get heightened insight as to what the author is trying to say, kind of read between the lines. And this could also help them in their regular life with their other college professors or anybody that's trying to convey something to them, and they can look between the lines and read people. We want students to be able to read people because it's very important in life for you to be able to read people. And also this play, since like Randy mentioned, it was a jury of her husband's peers. We want students to be aware of their biases, and that people that you may not think are qualified to help you answer a question or solve a problem may be the very most qualified people that can help you solve a problem. So another area that I thought was important was cultural bias. That's going to be integrated into the video game. So like urban versus rural was one of them. Rap versus country. Just any kind of cultural bias that you may have, and just be aware of your biases. And that's what we hope students will gain out of playing this video game, so that they're able to recognize that there are multiple sides to